This land? You're probably thinking, who would want to live there? It snows 9 months of the year and hails the other 3. It's full of creatures that will try to kill you, occasionally the few friendly ones. You got magic all around and dragons that roam the sky. To many it's a place to fear, but to me, it's home. To me, it's Skyrim. My adventure today would take me to a place that I had never been. On my way I'd come across a camp. I wanted to make friends with the guy, but for some reason he was hostile. I'd have no other option than to put him down. Along the way, I would find beautiful views. Views that honestly were out of this world. It was all so beautiful. All up until I had to face the shadows of the past. As I enter those gates, I find mass destruction. Bandits who had taken over a once peaceful town. Is this what the future looked like if I didn't take care of the dragons? Was every town, every city gonna look like this? Was the world gonna fall to bandits? It seemed like I was its only hope, the Dragonborn, to put an end to the misery that the dragons and the bandits create. For now, it was time to carry on with my adventure, to see what else I could find, what else this world has to offer. It wouldn't be long until I would find a new camp. It was a camp of Stormcloaks. I had the option to join their rebellion, but I was yet to decide what I wanted to do with my future, so I kept on exploring beyond the camp, coming across my first danger that I would face. Oh my god! Oh my god! Although I was frightened for a moment, I dispatched of the witch. With the confidence after taking out one, I felt that I could take out more, but I could not be further from that truth. I don't think I'm surviving this. Ah! Finally back on the road, I felt I had to get my redemption. And that redemption was near. That redemption was close. I had to show that I was strong, that I was powerful. Without thinking twice, I entered a cave, and this cave turned out to be home to vampires. One by one, I would slaughter them, one after another, to ensure my safety and to ensure that I survived this adventure through the cave. Having slaughtered most enemies that I had come across, I finally had enough time to try and figure out how enchanting worked. My target was still alive, so I had to move on towards him. I thought to myself that it would be easy, but with how many other vampires had surrounded him, I found myself in a bit of a challenge. Through strength, magic and perseverance, I was able to defeat a lot of them. I was able to leave the cave, having found my redemption. On arrival back in Whiterun, I celebrated by furnishing my newly bought home and then adopting a child for the first time. I let Farkas know that the job with the vampires was done. I had asked him for more work and then he let me know that Skjor needed to talk to me. Upon talking to Skjor, he said that we could not talk right now and that I'd have to return in the evening. When I returned, I found the dark secret that the companions were hiding. They wished for me to become a werewolf. I told them I would think about it and return if I chose to. I started my journey to find the Greybeards, a group of people who would help me harness the power of the Dragonborn, the people who would make me more powerful. But the adventure there, it wasn't for the weak. The adventure there, well, even I feared it. The more I climbed, the more dangerous creatures that I'd come across, the more menacing the environment would become, the more unhospitable it became. Had I chosen the wrong adventure? I had to believe that I could do this, so I kept going. And as we finally turned the final corner, we are greeted with a structure ever so huge and grand. What secrets did this place hold? Would I finally become the master of my powers? Long story short, my shape became more powerful, and they would even teach me a new power that would be useful in an adventure coming later. Oh my god, that's kinda cool. Having mastered those, I was sent on an adventure for Jurgen Windcaller. Before continuing though, I knew that I couldn't go alone. Before I committed to the choice of finding a friend, I went up north to explore around a little bit. I crossed paths with a dragon, and I'll be honest, I don't think I'm ready to take out another dragon. I don't think I can, not just yet. So I carried on and came across the path of 2 mammoths. I needed a mammoth tusk for a quest, so I had to take one down. And it was hard, it was tanky, but I don't know what I expected, but I did do it. And I got my tusk. Nearby I found a giant's camp, and I hoped that I could find some gold there. But when I got there, I did not expect to find a giant stuck due to Bugfesta. With no complaints from me, I took advantage of the situation, slayed the beast, and then looted him of his contents. I went back to Whiterun to go and get Lydia so that I had backup for my adventure. However, on arrival, a couple of cultists had problem that I am the Dragonborn and started a fight against me, which in turn started a fight against all of Whiterun. Having been absent since I adopted her, Lucia demanded some playtime, so me and her played tag up until the point I sent her to sleep. Myself and Lydia set off on a quest the next day, the quest to do with Jurgen Windcaller. On the way, I'm not sure what came over me, but I really wanted to kill at least one of these, but I didn't want to be the guilty one. I had to be innocent, so I had to somehow get them to start the fight on me. And with him choosing to try kill me over my freedom to want to worship anyone, I was officially really innocent. On arrival of the destination, the hostiles were distracted by something, allowing me and Lydia to get the jump on them. And like a legend, Lydia was raising Draugr from the dead to fight on our side. I once again find my way fighting through a dungeon, but this time I wasn't alone. This time I had Lydia, and all the Draugr that she was raising from the dead. For once it was an equal playing field. For once I had confidence that I wasn't going to die. We come across mega cities infested with skeletons, ruins of an ancient civilization. My sprint would get me through these gates and somehow Lydia just went through. Like, I would like her to tell me how. We'd continue fighting through. I used my magic to hopefully try and level it up, until I reached my destination, where I'd have a grand entrance.